Hi, everybody. I'm here today with Reshma Adatia, the Director of Engagement at ICVA. She is incredibly well-dressed and lovely. And we were just talking a bit about some of the ideas she has around engaging ICVA members and all kinds of people using language technology. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Slurring my words a little bit for no reason.
It's a long week.
Long way. So tell me, what did you think was interesting? What are you thinking about language technology?
Well, I think what's really interesting about language technology is the possibilities of meeting our members, particularly if I think through the lens of ICVA, meeting our local and national NGO members where they're at, right?
Because ICVA is an organization of a lot of different NGOs, nonprofit organizations around the world, and a lot of grassroots or local level organizations speaking all kinds of languages.
That's right. We have 185 members, local, national, and international.
Right.
And we like to really sort of focus our energies on engaging with our members in their countries of operations, but also for many of our local and national organizations in the countries in which they are members of their communities and members of their civil society. So I think for me, language technology would be really fascinating to be able to, particularly in our work around capacity building and knowledge exchange on the humanitarian system, how it's structured, what the different components of it are, and how we can really push for genuine localization in these environments.
And by localization, you mean working with local actors, humanitarian response happening with local actors and with them in the lead. Right?
Absolutely. So locally led action, but also really trying to push the system to move beyond this talk of having local and national NGOs be a key part of the system because we know they are. But actually helping them understand where in the system they can engage rather than just sort of hearing the great talk about the system engaging.
And encouraging them, saying that they can have influence and impact.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
And so why do you think that language technology is interesting?
So I think it's particularly interesting because many of our local and national members do not have some of our typical first language, don't have some of our typical languages as their first language, right? So English, French, Spanish. And even in a lot of cases where we're dealing with local and national members who have what we would consider sort of in the international sector as being relatively small spheres of influence. So engaging with communities with very specific language needs, more local language needs. So I think where it becomes interesting is really making sure that we're supporting those members in understanding how they can bring their community's voices into the system.
So important.
And understanding that, right?
And de-jargoning it to some extent because it's so hard.
Huge. There's many things I don't understand still after 20 years in the sector. So absolutely that.
And what do you think the impact will be if we can do that?
Oh gosh, well, I would hope that the biggest impact is where we need to focus, right? Which is on how do we make sure that what communities are feeling, thinking, needing are communicated effectively into the decision-making parts of the system. So for me, that is probably the most relevant part of language technology is ensuring that we are hearing directly from communities, using their words and their language in a way that forces us to meet them as opposed to them meeting us.
Wow, so inspiring. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Really, really interesting.
Great. Thank you.
And that's what's interesting.